Is WWE's Charlotte Flair the worst television performer right now? It's a question that's been stirring up plenty of debate recently. Charlotte Flair is undoubtedly one of the most recognizable names in WWE, with her legacy as a top-tier performer in the women's division cemented long ago. But her recent work has led many to ask if she's still at the top of her game. Her in-ring performances, character development, and booking decisions have left fans wondering, is Charlotte's time as a dominant force in WWE coming to an end? In today's video, we're diving deep into this issue, looking at Charlotte's recent performances, her current storylines, and what the future might hold for this iconic wrestler. Charlotte Flair's role in the WWE Women's Division has been undeniable. For over a decade, she has been at the forefront of women's wrestling, proving herself not only as one of the best female wrestlers, but also as one of the most skilled performers in WWE history. When it comes to legacy, there's no doubt Charlotte is one of the greatest women to ever step into a WWE ring. She has accomplished everything from multiple Raw and SmackDown Women's Championship reigns to memorable matches at the biggest events of the year, including WrestleMania. Flair's history in the company is rich with accomplishments, and her place in the company's history is secure. She is the daughter of Ric Flair, one of the greatest WWE superstars of all time, which only amplifies the weight of her legacy. But even the most legendary performers go through rough patches. Is Charlotte Flair having one of those rough patches right now? While Charlotte's in-ring abilities have been consistently top-notch, the same can't always be said for her character work in recent years. The issue isn't necessarily her performance during high-profile matches. When the stakes are high, Charlotte steps up. But when it comes to regular television segments, something feels off. In the past, her character as the arrogant, entitled queen made her a natural heel. She was able to generate the perfect level of heat, drawing boos from the crowd with her over-the-top attitude. Fans love to hate her, and that's exactly what WWE wanted. However, Charlotte's recent babyface return at the 2024 Royal Rumble was met with a surprising amount of fan rejection. Instead of getting the cheers WWE expected, she was met with indifference, and some fans even seemed to turn on her. This forced a quick heel turn in her feud with Tiffany Stratton, who was already positioned as the villain. But this shift didn't quite solve the problem. It felt like Charlotte's heel persona lacked the bite it once had, and the fans seemed to sense that. This brings us to Charlotte's upcoming match at WrestleMania 41. Where she is set to face Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's Championship. On paper, this match should be a dream encounter. Charlotte Flair, with her immense talent and pedigree, against the rising star Tiffany Stratton, who has been gaining momentum in recent months. It's a match many fans have wanted to see, and there's a lot of potential for it to be a major moment for both women. But the build-up to this match hasn't exactly been smooth sailing. Charlotte's character has felt somewhat flat, and despite her legacy, her presence on television has been underwhelming. Fans are wondering whether WWE is making the right call by having Charlotte fight for the title once again. Now let's think about this from a different angle. What if WWE made the bold decision to have Tiffany Stratton win the match? It may sound surprising, but it could be exactly what WWE needs to do to push fresh talent into the spotlight. If Stratton were to pull off the victory at WrestleMania, it would mark a major turning point in the women's division. Stratton has proven herself capable of holding her own in the ring, and a victory over someone like Charlotte Flair would be a career-defining moment for her. It would send a clear message that WWE is committed to building new stars and giving them opportunities to shine. A win for Tiffany Stratton would also add an intriguing dynamic to the women's championship scene. As it stands, Charlotte Flair has held the title many times, and her reigns, while significant, have often felt predictable. A new champion could shake things up, providing fresh matchups and stories that fans are excited to see. In contrast, Charlotte Flair's victory would only add to her already stacked title count. As much as her talent is unquestionable, WWE might benefit more from a shocking upset that elevates the next generation of stars. This doesn't mean that Charlotte Flair's legacy would be tarnished by a loss. In fact, it could actually enhance her status in WWE. A loss to Tiffany Stratton at WrestleMania wouldn't diminish Charlotte's career or her abilities. Instead, it would show that Charlotte is willing to put over new talent and elevate the future of WWE. Charlotte's legacy has always been about more than just winning titles. It's about what she does to shape the women's division and inspire others. By stepping aside for a younger star like Stratton, Charlotte would reinforce her position as someone who's not just focused on her own accolades, but on helping WWE continue to grow. However, we have to acknowledge that Charlotte's storyline and booking decisions are not entirely her fault. Her character has often been a reflection of WWE's booking decisions, and they've sometimes been inconsistent or lackluster. A good example of this is the way Charlotte's return after her injury was handled. In December 2023, Charlotte suffered a major injury to her ACL, MCL, and meniscus during a SmackDown match. This injury kept her out of action for several months, and her return to WWE television in early 2024 was highly anticipated. Fans expected her to come back with a vengeance, dominating in the Royal Rumble and setting herself up for another big match at WrestleMania. However, the storyline felt like a rehash of the same old angles WWE has run with Charlotte before. That brings us to the bigger question. What's next for Charlotte Flair in WWE? Her legacy is already secured, and she's achieved a level of success that very few can match. Charlotte has been WWE's top female talent for years, and her influence on the division is undeniable. However, she's also getting older, and with other stars like Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley rising to prominence, it's becoming clear that Charlotte may not be the centerpiece of the women's division for much longer. Some have speculated that WWE could look to move Charlotte into a different role, potentially as a part-time performer or even a mentor for the next generation of stars. She's already been a leader in the locker room, and a shift to more of a behind-the-scenes role could be in her future. But even with that in mind, Charlotte still has plenty of years left in WWE, at least 5, maybe more. She's still one of the best in-ring performers in the business, and her passion for wrestling is evident. The question is, how will WWE choose to book her over the next few years? Will they continue to focus on her as a top star, or will they shift their attention to the younger talent coming up behind her? Charlotte's pursuit of Ric Flair's 16-title record adds another layer of intrigue to her future. While many fans expect her to break her father's record, it's possible that WWE might have other plans. John Cena, who is tied with Ric Flair at 16 championships, is already nearing the end of his full-time career. With his potential retirement on the horizon, it's likely that WWE will want Cena to be the one to break that record, solidifying him as one of the greatest WWE superstars of all time. As for Charlotte, it's clear that WWE sees her as the future of the women's division and potentially the future of the company as a whole. Whether she continues to chase her father's record or steps into a new role in the company, Charlotte's place in WWE history is already secure. Her skill, work ethic, and legacy in the company cannot be denied. And yet, the question remains, is WWE's booking of Charlotte Flair right now the best path forward for her? Or is there a better option, a fresh approach that might benefit both Charlotte and the future stars of WWE? As we look ahead to WrestleMania 41 and beyond, one thing is clear. Charlotte Flair's journey in WWE is far from over. The next few months will be critical in shaping her legacy, but one thing is for sure. Whether she wins or loses at WrestleMania, Charlotte Flair will continue to be one of the most important figures in WWE history. In the end, Charlotte Flair has accomplished more than most in WWE. Her in-ring prowess, her championship wins, and her iconic moments will always be part of WWE's rich history. But as the landscape of the company continues to evolve, the question remains, what will Charlotte Flair's next chapter look like? Only time will tell, but whatever happens, it's safe to say that Charlotte Flair is not just one of the best women's wrestlers ever. She's one of the best to ever do it, period.